Let's move over to stock picks. I'll start with you, Ricus. Where are you seeing value this evening?
It's a company called Advanced Industrial Technologies. Just background. Freight rates in the US have increased by 8% over the past 12 months. That's huge. And it's not things being imported. It is freight in what's called the Rust Belt. In other words, that center of America where manufacturing has been in the doldrums for decades. It points to a revival, whether it be because of Trump's policies or despite Trump's policies. I'm not too sure, but it has to do a lot to do with the build-up of AI spend in that geography. If that is the case, applied industrial technology is perfectly placed, because what they do is provide services to, whether it be food processing plants, whether it be car manufacturers, for the automation, for the increased efficiency of, whether it be valves, or, it's real industrial stuff, valves or robotics and whatever. They've had a steady dividend growth for the past 15 years. I like that kind of company. So it's boring, but it's tied to an industrial revival that we can already see happening, and transport is your canary in the coal mine as far as I'm concerned to underwrite that real revival.
What about you, JP? Also going offshore?
Indeed. So I'm choosing Microsoft. We spoke about defensive shares earlier. So Microsoft is as a defensive growth business as you can get. Dominant, obviously, in operating systems, Azure growing very strongly, a bunch of other businesses as well. And the shares just got too expensive. So they dropped by just over 20% over the last 3 months, as people all of a sudden got concerned about Claude bot and vibe coding, and people thinking software maybe doesn't have as good a competitive position as they thought before. I do think that Microsoft is relatively safe. They've got a wide moat, a competitive advantage. People are not going to start coding their own Microsoft operating system. And I do think that Azure still has good growth ahead of it, notwithstanding the competition between OpenAI, Anthropic, Google with their different bots. Even if Copilot doesn't win out, I think Microsoft could become agent agnostic and offer whichever agent you want to use in Microsoft, not just Copilot, which uses OpenAI's bot, or ChatGPT. So because of that defensive stance, but the share price being down over 20% over the last 3 months, I think there's an opportunity to pick up Microsoft at the current share price.
All right, gents, thank you so much for your time and joining us this evening. And that's all for Stockwatch today. Thank you to my guests, Pierre Verster from Protea Capital Management and Ricus Reeders from PSG Hole-in-One Ruimsig. Up next, it's The Close.